record video. Welcome back. It's been exactly 1 year, and since then we've learned so much. Yeah, I've learned so much. Personally, I think I've gone on the biggest transformation journey anime, training montage arc, in a while.
I think I've gotten dumber.
I feel like I'm JoJo right now in brain power. Listen,
Uh,
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Literally the same. Like my life has not changed whatsoever.
That has literally been like almost exactly a year. When this drops, it'll be almost exactly a year since I last dropped. I'm not saying the rare that scarcity and demand, like I'm not saying there's a supply and a demand curve that's being manipulated by the creators and the consumers of this club. But the less I produce, the scarcer it is, the more valuable. I'm just saying it's not a supreme drop or anything, but I mean, word to the wise, we're going to be talking about something important today.
Gotta start taking pre-orders for this episode alone.
I mean, Patreon one day, maybe in 2050. Um, do you want to know what we're going to talk about today?
What is your topic today?
Uh,
I am interested.
well, I'm going to go back a few slides because I kind of, oops.
Matt's got a whole presentation.
We're going to have to do some editing on that. I started on like the fifth slide.
It was like shown like on the screen.
Literally, it was saying, oh, dang.
It's unplugged
Technical
computer.
difficulties. Bro, this is gonna tie in so well. Do you know what just happened? We just switched
Wow.
lands. We just shifted gears in the multiverse. Like this could have been a good start. It wasn't. Do you know why?
Why?
Because of the CERN particle collider. Can you just stay there? Is that an issue for you? All right. Cut to Ilya. Welcome back to
Yes.
the chess club.
I feel very welcome. Thank you, Andre.
I'm happy to have you here. I'm very honored that you're being my guest.
Dude, after such a long time, I'm happy also.
I see you. I see you experiencing this long time with me from a distance and sometimes in person.
And at the gym.
And especially at the gym. The other day I recorded a video of you doing the tire flips because I
Mhm.
know when you're shredded like JoJo, I'm going to be there to give you that video so you can do a
Mhm.
transformation post.
I already started doing like a everyday picture and all that. Just so I can do like one of those like cool Facebook mom photo or videos.
On MyFitnessPal, you can track. It has like a really easy thing where you can like take a picture every single day and log your weight. I just started using that feature yesterday.
What I will say is my fitness tracker does not have like a Subway feature. They only have the specific sandwiches, and you have to like it takes like half an hour just to input like a custom sandwich into freaking my fitness tracker.
Yeah, I did Chipotle. I ate Chipotle today, and I tried to throw it into MyFitness. I gave up after the fact that it took me 15 minutes to give up is bad enough already, right? But then I just gave up and I did steak, and then I searched steak, and then I added another 3 ounces of steak for my extra steak. Anyways,
Uh,
thank you for coming back to Chess Club. Today is going to be a very important episode. I would say overdue and too early. I would say the subject matter today is overdue and ahead of its time.
well, what is the subject matter?
The
Are you
subject
gonna be
matter. All right. I think if you're tuned into this podcast, at least from the group chats I participate in, you're aware of the term metaverse. Metaverse. Yeah, metaverse.
Meta Facebook?
If
Yeah,
you would, if you,
all
if you would, I made a presentation. This is the first time I've ever made a presentation. All right, my cursor is being recorded. Good. This is the first time I've ever made a presentation, and it's for Chess Club. It's not the first time I've ever made a presentation. That was a lie. I'm sorry for lying to you guys. The CERN particle collider is overreacting right now.
Pick 3.
What do I do with this? I don't have any duct tape in my room. WD-40 won't help.
Put it under your chin. Make it spooky episode.
I mean, it is. It is the subject matter. Oh, I can put it on the Gorilla Pod. Oh, genius.
You just wrap it around your monitor.
Literally,
Screen.
literally, that's what I was gonna do. Is like put the legs over the slideshow. I have like the janky little like $20 one from like Best Buy. Garbage. Absolute dog water. Wouldn't recommend to my worst enemy.
I mean, I have the medium one, and that one's done me wonders so far. But not the small one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chess Club. This is your host, Levi. My online alter ego, Levi, is taking over for the next half hour to take you down a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole. It's a dangerous rabbit hole. I'm joined today by Ilya Yunchik, also known as Doink Dank, also known as Ilya. Actually, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm the infamous Doink Dank that nobody knows about. Currently 3 followers on Twitch. I'm glad to be here on the show.
Listen, after this podcast, Ilya, I can guarantee I can honestly guarantee a lot more than what I'm about to, but I can promise you that those 3 will grow by minimum, and I think I'm the best at projecting. I'm Project Leviathan, Project Chess Club, Project Lab. I think I can project pretty well. I think I can project over 400% growth for you.
Maybe.
That is 3 followers into 12.
Wait.
Y'all don't have to make it happen. It's gonna happen regardless. Whether I made it happen or not, I'm not saying that I'm the one that made it happen. Not at all. I'm not saying anybody's gonna listen to this. But I'm saying I can project you into 12 followers minimum by your death.
Just clairvoyance. Like Andre's like on a new plane. He knows the future. He sees ahead of time.
Listen, I just see different. I don't see anything that you don't see. I just process it in my own way. You know, I think everybody's born unique that way.
Amen to that.
All right. So it has been a year since we last dropped anything, but it's an important one. I mean, I didn't want to drop any like empty calories of content. I was waiting for something to like go on my heart, and this has been on my heart for over 2 months now. When I first heard about it, it had my curiosity, then it had my attention, and then it had both, and then I decided to make a slideshow about it for you guys. So let's get into it. The universe. What is it? Why is it? When is it?
Who knows?
The multiverse. Why is it? Who is it? Why is it?
I think you said why twice, but it matters.
Twice?
Yeah.
Check this. The metaverse. That's three verses. This isn't biblical talk. This isn't theology. This is 3 verses. The universe, the multiverse, and the metaverse. I'm about to give some people schizophrenia tonight. I'm not gonna lie. This should be a dangerous episode. This is why I have a 25 plus filter on my website. You have to say that you're 25 to see my link tree. It's because we're going to be talking about stuff like this. If you're a schizophrenic, I recommend tuning out. If you're a genius, I recommend reading my copyright policy. And if you're a consumer, I'd like to thank you. This is dedicated for Chess Club. Let's move on to slide 2. As we all know, I have an online persona like we all do. I would just like to take a moment and thank Levi. He's the one that stayed up till 5 a.m. yesterday making this presentation. CERN particle collider. We're on slide 3. Moving on to slide 4. What are particles and why This is where that Y comes in. You thought there was only one Y. You said, there's two Ys. Why are we colliding them?
Nice.
CERN's main function is to provide particle accelerators. And it's also the birthplace of the World Wide Web. That's WWW, which in Jewish isn't a language, but in Jewish, it means 666. Here's a chart of why it doesn't mean that it's the devil. The CERN particle collider isn't the devil, and here's a chart that explains why. Next. In this particle collider, they collide. Basically, it's like, all right, let's first explain what it is. I don't even know what this slideshow is. I don't have anything written down. I wrote it down once. That seemed like enough. But in this particle collider, what they do is they take particles. It's basically a circle. If you tap on the thing, if you're on Spotify, you can actually go in through the link tree and find the YouTube channel, and you can find the YouTube video for this podcast. And actually, if you look on my screen right now, I'm drawing a circle with my mouse cursor, right? That's to represent particles flying in this big ass circle that they're colliding in, right? This particle collider thing where these particles collide is called ALICE. You can remember that by Alice in Wonderland. It's called a Large Ion Collider Experiment. Real simple stuff.
How are the particles being moved in a circle? Like, how are they like accelerating?
Like, all right, so what they do is they push the particles forward from both sides.
Both sides.
From both sides. Sometimes. What slide am I on? I'm on slide 7. So what they do, they crash particles into each other really fast, at the speed of light fast. I have gone very fast in my life. Very fast. I've never gone at the speed of light, and I'm made of particles. Millions of particles, and none of them have ever gone at the speed of light. I don't think many of them want to. Slide 8. So, this is where it gets a little deep. No pun intended. But it's where it gets a little deep in the sense of these particles crashing into each other. Listen, these particles crash. This is the smallest unit. This is the smallest unit. When you collide the smallest units, they don't break apart into more smaller units because they are the smallest unit. That might be hard for most of the people to wrap their heads around from the beginning. This is where it gets complicated, right? When you break apart the smallest unit, it doesn't break apart. It makes anti-units. That might be a little tricky to wrap your head around. I'm not going to lie to you. It makes anti-units. These anti-units make black holes. We can store a black hole for like 45 minutes. How do I know this? You're saying, Levi, you got a lot of information. Well, how do you get information? With questions. Hey, Dad, do you have any questions so far?
No, dude, I'm just like taken aback. I'm just like basking in your knowledge and wisdom.
Listen, bro. 5 a.m. nights. This is when millionaires are made, and this is where geniuses are made. And clearly, I've done well enough in the stock market to not need the millions. I know exactly how to make an account move. I think I can focus on being a genius and not a million. Like Nikola Tesla, he died with like what, $2?
Mm-hmm.
$2 of knowledge or $2 of dollars. You know what I mean? Like,
and he died of virgins.
I'm just giving y'all my 2 cents. Anyways, how do I know this? Easy. They told me. The ops, I don't know. They don't have to be the ops, but they are. I mean, they're friends with the United Nations. I'm a Boogaloo boy myself. I'm a flag. I'll flag myself on YouTube. I don't really mind. But they told me. The ops told me this information. Right here on slide 11. Right here, you can see the link. I'll highlight it on YouTube so you guys can visit it. I'm not going to post the link anywhere. Y'all can just like look at the screen and type it yourself because I'm not going to give you any more handouts than this podcast. All right. But on their website, I quote, however, some theories suggest. What does that mean? Some theories suggest. There's a theory that suggests evolution, and there's a theory that suggests creationism. Either it's wrong or it's right. It's a theory. What does that even mean? However, some theories suggest that the formation of tiny quantum black holes may be possible. It is possible. Maybe today, maybe you know about it in 10 years. That's how they write these things. I don't make the rules. I just read the rules. Slide 12. They have been preparing you for the idea of time travel or space travel or both ever since they made TV a thing. Lately, you've been hearing a lot about the multiverse in pop culture. And in niche culture, you've been hearing a lot about the metaverse. I haven't made enough slides about the metaverse, but I could freestyle it. But listen, the softcore explanation for what I just rolled you through, the black holes, is this is the softcore introduction. It's the Doctor Strange multiverse of madness. If you would actually turn to slide 27, I actually have the proof of the multiverse right there. You can see this Spider-Man meme with the cartoon Spider-Man pointing at each other. That was made decades ago. Here you see another Spider-Man meme with Andrew Garfield, Tony Maguire, and Tom Holistic pointing each other just like this meme right here.
I was so disappointed they didn't do that in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to break this, but that was just so depressing.
Yeah, it was tragic that they didn't fanfare. They're too busy planting propaganda in the minds of the youth, in my opinion. I don't know. I could cut it here. Should I cut it here? I don't have to.
Just ramble on, dude.
I just feel like it's important for you. It's extremely important that you understand this image. If you turn to slide 14, uh, slide 1-4. Actually, I'll post a link to this slideshow so you guys can follow along or present this in your own school. I don't care. You can see the simplest diagram of a wormhole that I could find. Find. And I actually circled the part where the CERN particle collider is creating wormholes. Now, the wormholes they're creating are literally like non-existent small, but that doesn't mean that they're non-existent matter. Well, I mean, technically it's literally non-existent matter, but it matters, if that makes sense. Like, it's
Do you
like,
know? Do you know if they're able to tell where they opened the wormhole to yet?
I don't think they're able to tell. I think I'm able to tell better than them. That's a bold accusation. They might know what they're doing. Listen, they have a statue. Look at this. I'm gonna open a new tab and I'm gonna search CERN statue. And I'm gonna click images. And yeah, if you would search CERN CERN statue and hit images, see if you find the same thing I'm finding. This is the statue of the god Shiva. In Hindu, this is the destroyer of worlds. This is at their I don't remember which building. There's a lot of buildings. This CERN particle collider is the largest man-made structure, period. It is 100 kilometers wide. It goes between Switzerland and France, and it is built on top of Geneva. The Indian government, which isn't part of the UN, I'm pretty sure, it might be 50-50, gave them this statue in honor of XYZ. But this is the god of destroying worlds, and this is a fucking but yeah. Particle collider. This is the destroyer of worlds, and this is a particle collider. I'm not saying there's any weird correlation. I'm saying they might have done this for attention, but something I feel like
That's a pretty
persuaded.
weird correlation.
It's a pretty.
That's
It's concerning.
like it's like supposed to be like a science discoveries and all that, and
Like they want to say, like, they'll give you XYZ for why the destroyer of worlds is their statue. But Hitler said XYZ about the swastika being the sign of peace. No?
Yeah.
Anyways, slide 15. I slide 15. Do you trust this? I think a lot of people. I think when they were making Fat Boy, basically the two bombs that cratered Japan. When they were making those, I feel like out of the 100 people that contributed to those bombs, three knew what they were doing. The other 97 were just doing their job. I feel like at this particle collider, there's 99 people doing their job, and the one nigga that knows what's going on is that statue. Slide 16. Consider the following: Occupy Wall Street was the only time most of us got along. And I was like, what, 5? Consider the following: the 2008 crisis. Wait, I think I got these in the wrong order. I did get these in the wrong order. Occupy Wall Street happened in 2011. So the 2008 crisis, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. All right. Slide 16, please. Occupy Wall Street was the last time that any of us got along. Any of the rich and any of the poor. You saw Peter Schiff, the gold guy, the anti-Bitcoin guy, was talking to protesters on New York, and they were both speaking like they both had brains, the protesters and the rich, right? Why did that go absolutely nowhere? Harambe. I'd like you to go back to slide number 5. CERN is the birthplace of the World Wide Web. I'd like you to go back to slide 16. 2012 happened after Harambe. 2012 was when the world was supposed to end. CERN caused Harambe.
How? Explain yourself.
If you look at the image, I'm sorry to all the audio listeners. If you look at the image on slide 16, it says, this is a quote from CERN. It says, out of this door, this is talking about the CERN particle collider. It says, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. This is a quote from Sergio Buttlettis, Director of Research and Scientific Computing. Director of Research and Scientific Computing. That's so vague. That is so vague. I'm not disrespecting the career. I'm just like saying like I'm a director of scientific research and computing in my room right now. Out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. He's talking about, I think, the wormholes that are created by the particles colliding, which they can contain for like 45 minutes if I haven't mentioned that already. Might have not written down the source, but then you have to consider the fact that through these wormholes, every time we make one of these wormholes, there is a something like there's a blank wall. Then we make a wormhole, that's a door on that wall out of nowhere. We can open that door, and as soon as we open that door, we're no longer in a room, we're in a hallway. I feel like every time we've made a black hole, whether they've admitted it or not, we've drifted. We've drifted. Our differential locked up, and our rear wheels went sideways, and our front wheels kept going forward. The general population is the front wheels, and the drifting wheels is, well, where the multiverse comes in.
It'd be interesting to see like every time the particle accelerator was collided and see if it matches up with any dates. Like, was some like the more recent events happening when the collider was activated.
I can tell you one thing: if there's a singularity, okay, I'm not even gonna get into that yet. If there's a singularity, that's a joke. All right, so slide 17. CERN is the largest machine made by man. It's 100 kilometers long. It borders Switzerland, France, and it's on Geneva. Slide 18. What does this say? Yeah, it's on Geneva. Slide 19. The Geneva Convention. The Geneva Convention. Okay, before we go to this, let's go to slide 16 again. 2020 COVID. Up. I believe I just flagged this channel. 2020 Wuhan flu. Now back to slide 20, please. 19, I mean. The Geneva Conventions are 4 treaties and 3 additional protocols that establish internal legal standards for humanitarian treatment in war. They felt like building it there because they thought it was the safest place because they saw the convention happen here and they were like, huh, this is like the true north of peace. That's why they built it there. If we want to,
And Switzerland hasn't been in like a war in forever. They've just been like in the middle between everything. So like I guess you could say it is like literally the peace, most peaceful place ever.
yeah, Switzerland is always neutral. Their citizens are armed with with good guns. All right, slide 21. The Nuremberg trials. Actually, I don't even want to go into this tinfoil. I'm just going to jump straight into the multiverse and how it relates to the metaverse. If you would go to slide number 27. We're at 26 minutes. Okay, I'm going to try to make this fast because I'm trying to make shorter, not longer episodes because y'all have the attention span of pigeons. Proof of the multiverse. At the top right, you'll see Lisa Simpson's daughter in the episode The Simpsons. She's plugged into a MacBook essentially through a placement in her neck, and that connects her to this digital world. She is an avatar in the digital world, and at this bottom center, you can see Lisa plugs into this digital world to go after her daughter because her daughter has an addiction to this. How do I call it? It's like a VR chat through your MacBook and a cable. Um, so Lisa goes in there. You can see she goes to Google, and that's like simply the same exact imagery that we see in X-Men Days of Future Past, where Professor X goes into his big brain thing and like interfaces with all like the human thoughts, right? So we can see Google being idolized, being turned into this idol of like passing like doors. And at the top left, you'll see this slide of Elon and his Neuralink. And the way I see this correlating is to participate in the metaverse, you have to be somewhat cybernetic. You have to be either a cyborg like we are today, in the sense of whenever your phone is in your hand, you literally have a library, right? Like it's just the bandwidth of your interaction with this technology that's limited by it being outside of your body. That's Elon's whole thesis is that we're cyborgs already. It's just whether it's in your body or outside of your body, right? If you go to slide 28, before I go and I talk to you about how the Pixar theory is literally better than the Big Bang theory, consider the fact that if you go on Google, type. See, did I not just tell you about Google and did the CERN particle collider not just make my light fall off to make a drip? I'm so done. If you go on Google and search up about the metaverse, then what you're gonna find is that it's gonna tell you, bro, you want to be this investor, you want to get rich off the metaverse, buy Bitcoin, buy altcoin, buy shitcoin. You're gonna be so well off. But if you go a little bit deeper, you're actually going to find that if you want to be part of the people that are laying the foundation for the metaverse, that there's also the other side of the coin where you're not being duped into buying shit coins, thinking mana is going to be this sandbox that unites all of them. It could be. I hold it. But you also there's a developer side where people actually know program codes like Unity, Unity engine, like people that are developers for the metaverse, blockchain developers, people that implement ownership and digital assets into like real world applications. Like if I made skins and I wanted you to own my skin in CS:GO, we would develop a blockchain thing so that if you ran a CS:GO server, you could just click a couple buttons and add my program into your CS:GO server, and skins that you own on the blockchain would just apply. Like if I own an AK-47 skin and it's the only AK-47 skin. Like here's where I have an issue, bro. If you take a 400 by 400 red square and put it on the blockchain, how is that an NFT?
Mm.
Can I not just make that myself?
Like, or even make the same like red box, but just like a tiny little bit, like 1 pixel different color red.
Like that's where I don't understand like the uniqueness. Like I don't care if it's unique. Anyways,
Well, I think for like the metaverse, like specifically, like it won't show up without that blockchain ID. I mean, like sure you can make it, but I don't think like the regular people will have like access to, uh, like just because like right now you can just like basically screenshot it and resell the NFT. But I think like in the actual metaverse, you won't be able to, do the same thing because in order to like upload it, you'll need have like that ID from the blockchain.
speaking of ID, right now the metaverse is a very niche thing because you can only interact with a real metaverse if you have VR goggles and VR like handsets, controllers, VR controllers. Um, when I looked at these developer forums for the metaverse, the common theme was the metaverse isn't real. The metaverse can't hurt you. The metaverse isn't a place because if the metaverse was a place, we would all be unanimously going into the same one like they do in what's that movie called? Ready Player One. We would all connect to mana token, or we would all go into Roblox world, or Minecraft just buys all of them out, right? If the metaverse was real, we would already be agreeing on which one won, right? Which one took victory is what I mean. Not like which one won 0 1 1 0 0, like not that. To interface with this, you need VR goggles and VR controllers. I'm going to tell you how this leads to you putting a chip inside of your skull without any hesitation. In the next, what year is it? Is it 2022? In the next 3 years, Apple's going to come out with augmented reality glasses. Let that sink in. I predicted that myself. Once that's out, you're gonna start seeing like ads everywhere. Well, Apple might not be the one that does ads. The guys that are competing with the Apple AR glasses, because that's the thing you're missing. You're not missing like this like mid-size like iPhone iPad thing. You're not missing this like MacBook that's also an iPad. Like you can draw on it. You're not gonna steal a Microsoft Surface product. They're gonna make the product you need, right? The product you need, because everything is leading into this multiverse theory of the CERN particle collider is making the most clown world reality possible, because every time it goes off, it drifts us into one reality. And I think, personally, I think that aliens can even be tied into this. Like, what are we sending through that and what are we getting back out? If we're sending information through that hole, then who's receiving that information? And who knows that they're receiving that information from us? What if we're receiving the information from ourselves in a different time? Or, who says we're not the demons?
That's how shit. What I had a thought is like, what if they were able to like open the wormhole to like a specific past, or even in the future, where they know where that location of that black hole would be and be able to receive information between themselves. So like the top tier elite always know the information at a time.
So once the AR glasses are on the market, right? They're going to be a lot more connected to this metaverse. Oh, so these so the common theme, I totally went off topic. The common theme among metaverse developers, I'm in the Discord servers. The common theme amongst Discord developers is the metaverse isn't a place because it can't be united. Like, that's just not a thing. The metaverse is a time. in like 2030, maybe in 2050, eventually we will be more digital than we are physical. It's I can understand how you might have the preconception that we are already all cyborgs, but we're not. Bitcoin is still niche. It doesn't even have um more people use the US dollar still in 2022 than Bitcoin will be adopted in 2030. Like that's projection I make, not projections I've been told to make by my influencers, right? Um, Everybody sells Bitcoin for US dollars when they make enough US dollars, though, right? So I feel like once the Bitcoin inverses the US dollar or whatever dollar yuan, once Bitcoin inverses the yuan or whatever dollar ruble, once Bitcoin inverses all of that, and we're actually talking in sats, satoshis, satans, whatever you want to call it, I feel like that's when your invitation to the metaverse will be solidified. Have you ever heard of Pixar theory?
Hmm. Just a little bit of it. It's kind of incredible.
It's it's a work of wonder. I think the most interesting part is by and large in how Wally happened, because you hear a lot about climate change, right? And it plants this picture in your head that we're going to be living in this dune reality where the sun is going to like cook all the fresh water out, and that's why we need to pay this carbon tax, right?
Hmm.
I feel like the metaverse is where you go when you're so depressed about how pushed down you've been for the last 20 to 2030 that you just need to disconnect from reality, where you're starving, where you need to eat bugs for lunch because you live in, well, the America that didn't believe. And then slide.
Where the Earth just goes to crap and everyone just wants to feel happy in the metaverse.
Listen, bro, I don't know who's right and who's wrong. That's why I'm trying to get as rich as possible and as connected as possible with the right people to make sure that I end up on Mars, or that I have the option to end up on Mars or on the moon.
Or in a bunker if those are not options.
Listen, I'm trying to end up. I know the easy offer will be, yeah, bro, you can go to Mars. Just plug into the metaverse with this Neuralink, and you'll occupy a robot body. I know that's the easy option, but I'm a Bitcoin miner. I know what a node is.
You'll become an NFT as soon as you upload yourself.
No, like literally, that's like exactly what I'm saying.
Dude, trading people as NFTs. Like you upload yourself, you're basically trading yourself
We're just
into the
upgrading your social
metaverse.
security number. That's it.
No, because like you know how you can buy NFTs and stuff like that. All these companies are doing is just buying you as an NFT
Do you know what Pixel
as a
ID is?
customer. Hmm.
You do?
Hmm.
So, do you know my Pixel ID? Have you looked into it?
No, what is it?
Probably disgusting. Um, so slide 29. Oh, I did mention it. Slide 29. You're experiencing softcore foreplay for aliens and or demons. It all started with Joe Rogan unintentionally introducing the idea that the beings he sees off DMT could be real and they could be from a different time. That got people a lot interested. And as one of my episodes mentioned earlier, Moses in the burning bush, the bush that had DMT in it, Moses might have seen these. He might have not. But the fact that the CERN particle collider is introducing the idea that we can send things beyond the veil into another veil, beyond dark matter. We can send matter into dark matter and open dark matter and receive matter both ways. We can do it both ways. Maybe not yet. They're softcore foreplaying you for the idea that the beings that we will interact with in the metaverse are safe. Slide 30,
Can we
please.
just can we just take some time to appreciate the applications that Levi has? Like in the picture underneath. Like the fact that you have like stocks and like video editing stuff that are like you're straight up plugged in and all of them are like open.
Thank you, thank you. You literally see pie charm, bro. I'm literally a developer.
He's like plugged in. He's not just like spitting some random stuff. You could literally see proof in
Literally
the
the
back.
Trezor at the bottom right and BitTorrent. All right, slide 30. This Simpsons episode was released in the 90s. This was that same episode with Lisa connecting into the metaverse to save her daughter Lisa from the addiction that is the metaverse. Like our kids are addicted to online pornography now. There's gonna be shit more addictive than that in the metaverse because you will be able to. Dude, think about this. Dude, think about this. I listened to sermons from this church, this ministry on YouTube. It's called Little Light Studios, and this is the first ministry that I know of that's actually embracing the metaverse and is trying to get connected to people in the metaverse. They put it this way: if I can get a VR set and connect to VR chat, whether I'm 14 or 24, it literally doesn't, like, you can't prove either one. That's a slippery slope, dude. That's a really slippery slope.
And some of the dark stuff happening on VR chat, they like it's like not even that developed, but there's some really dark stuff happening on there
Oh,
already. It's just yeah.
I could make a whole pod about this, but no, I need people to tell me, Andre, you should make a pod about this. Even if I'm just suggesting it, I need the confirmation. Anyways, in slide 30, you can see the Simpsons predicting offshore gambling within the metaverse, which is you betting on token X and token Y. They predicted that. I mean, the Simpsons predicted like the Simpsons had some creative writers, and the creative writers were part of Hollywood, and Hollywood is the number one ministry of Gnostic gospel. And Gnostic gospel, I'll do a podcast about this whether you want me to or not. Gnostic, GNO, Gnostic gospel is the most accurate inversion of Christian gospel that there is. Gnostic gospel is basically um there was yin and yang, and yin and yang conceived, and yang aborted. Yang aborted Jehovah, the God we believe in. Like, he's a dead baby. Uh, and the Jehovah that they aborted is so mad at humans that he gave us the devil. That's the inversion. Well, that's the inversion as far as I understand it at this point in time. But it's a very Luciferian approach if you stick to tradition. That's all I gotta say. The people that wrote The Simpsons were part of Hollywood culture. Whether they knew that about the Gnostic gospel like we know about it today, whether they knew about it the way they did in the 80s or 90s, I obviously I can't say. But I can say that looking through time, you can see the culture influence them. Um, that's my last slide. We're at 43 minutes. I'm sorry for taking up so much extra time, guys. But this was a really intense discussion. Well, this wasn't a discussion. This was a rant. The discussion can happen now, though. Yeah.
Dude, there's so much to talk about. I mean, like number one is how like accurate, like it's not just like, hey, like look, there's this prediction, but they were so plugged in, like their cartoons match up with like real life photographs. Like even like the smallest like I don't even know what the ratio is or percentages, but I'm pretty sure it's like one in like trillions.
Like the chances.
Yeah. Like maybe they received information from the other side. Maybe that's why they're so correct.
I I think it's not like a you're. Have you seen Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
You know the diary, the Riddle's diary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's exactly like they put into the wormhole and then the wormhole put back exactly. I think it's more like all of the culture that influenced the scientists working at the lab led to that destroyer of statues being there. Like, we as a culture failed by not embracing uh, God younger. But either way, I feel like everything led to that wormhole being open. Like, humanity has a consciousness. You can tell that humanity has a consciousness because some animals want to kill us and some animals don't. And I mean, you can take this back to biblical times because there was a
Speaking
Eden.
on that, speaking on that, like in the Bible, it like refers to people like as a body, like as like one being, not like individual people.
Right.
So that also like plugs it directly into it, like humanity is a consciousness.
Like there's a body of Christ, and then there's like a dead body at the end. The consciousness leaves. I feel like this consciousness is contribute. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I don't think that they're scribbling like notes and then tossing that through the wormhole. I don't think that's how it works. I just a gut feeling, I guess.
But for 45 minutes, I'm pretty sure you can send quite a bit of like information through. Like not necessarily notes, but like there's different waves and stuff. I'm pretty sure they can like receive images and stuff.
What's it?
Because I
Literally
don't know like
Morse code.
it's literally just like a cup with the string attached to the end. They just toss it through.
How much for world peace? 21 million bitcoins.
Dude, I don't even know what to say. You covered quite a bit. Uh, uh, yeah, in this presentation specifically.
I think I like the presentation style. I think I'm gonna stick with this.
I mean, I prefer it also. It's a little bit easier to like track your like thoughts,
Big time. I wish
so I'm not like jumping around.
I did wish I wrote down a little bit of my thoughts regarding the slideshow, but I don't know. I think I've provided enough value, like genuine value. Like I don't think people even know what a particle collider function is.
Well, apparently it's using super magnets to use like the magnetic field to push like the particle super fast.
Ah, that makes sense. Like a railgun.
Yeah, yeah, basically, and then all it does is like spins it like really fast until they introduce a new particle and it crashes directly into it.
Oh, how do they introduce the new particle in time?
I this is way above my pay
Hella.
grade.
The answer is hella math.
And also while you're speaking, I also looked into this a little bit. So regarding holding like some of the black holes, they're apparently able to hold the dark matter created off of um, the colliding. Because I don't know if your viewers know what dark matter is, but it's like you said, like antimatter. It's the thing against matter. If it's two particles colliding, like they don't break apart.
It's very quantum.
Like it's insane how some of these people will be able to figure out and to be able to hold that. It has like if you're able to hold dark matter for longer than they're able to, and like actually like physically store it, you can make trillions off of this. Like, yeah, just holding
And check
nothing in
this
your
out,
hand.
bro. Check this out. Check this out. This is gonna blow your mind, bro. This is gonna blow your mind. If you're not woke from your NPC state yet, you are gonna be now. At any moment, Putin knows about this. Putin knows about this. Xi knows about this. At any moment in time, he could send a nuke and just kill that whole game plan. Why doesn't he?
Well, a, mutually assured destruction.
All right, maybe not a nuke, but a missile from another country.
What do you mean from another country?
Is Putin actually an op? Could he not convince, I don't know, Spain to send like not a nuke but like
I
a
don't think Spain
grenade?
has a grenade. That's about it. What Spain
Oh,
has.
like literally, like
That's a crap on Spain right now, but
I mean, they would just
uh
rebuild it, I guess.
like honestly, yeah, we probably could.
I mean, I think it's a marvel of human ingenuity that we got it running. Like, I'm not against it. I'm against the United Nations holding, owning it.
Who would you propose holding it? Like such a
Me,
powerful thing.
nigga, me.
You- I will make sure we're on the right path.
No, like literally, I feel like I know right and wrong better than the United Nations.
Well, if it's so united, why can't I walk in there, huh?
No, if it's so united, like I don't even know why I hate the United Nations anymore. I've fed myself so much propaganda against the United Nations. I forgot why I originally started feeding myself propaganda against the United Nations.
It's just nationalism of your own country, and that's it.
Nationalism,
Patriotism.
not even of my own country. I'm not like I have loyalty to the country that I'm gonna belong to after America splits apart. Like that many chess moves ahead.
Defend your own state.
I'm defending my future state, but my future state roots in this state.
Thing. Dude, I'm gonna need to sleep like 3 days on all this information.
Dude, it's
just,
crazy.
just to process this.
I saw this on Twitter. Like somebody was like, "Why does it feel like we're getting closer and closer into clown world?" And somebody replied with, "This is exactly why, actually." And I'm like, "I'll follow this rabbit hole." It scared me enough to where I wanted to make my own rabbit hole.
You could honestly make like 10-hour presentations about each and every one of your slides,
Yeah, just
especially softcore foreplay with aliens and demons.
just literally have this presentation branch off into a couple different presentations, but at the very, very, very top, the seed or the top of the tree, like the path tree, Pixar theory. How Pixar theory is more legitimate than Big Bang theory.
Or the Simpson theory.
Simpson theory. Simpson, dude, big Pixar theory includes the Simpsons as Hollywood influence and Pixar being the only technological influence part of Hollywood.
Who's Pixar owned by?
Apple.
Disney? Apple?
Either Apple or Disney, one of them.
Pixar owned by
Disney. Final answer.
Disney. Does Simpsons are also owned by Disney?
Yeah.
There you
Disney theory.
go. It's literally Disney theory.
Stock market is turning into a Dow exchange. Boom. We tied it together, yeah.
You're a genius.
You're a genius.
How are more people not listening to this? You're literally like giving them.
I have a simple answer and I have a complicated answer, but both of them are the same answer. It's the globalists preventing it.
Literally, like you're on like every list,
I'm
like
on, dude.
all of their lists.
If I just moved to Russia and I started this podcast, but oh, dude, I should dub this. I should dub this in Russian. Chess club,
I'm pretty sure like YouTube auto translates it
klub,
like
klub
subtitles.
шахмат,
Laboratory, or however you say in Russian.
проект лабораторий,
Проект laboratory.
проект
That sounds better.
лабиринт. Works
Sounds
both
kinda
ways that way too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your attention. I mean, we got 7 minutes to make it a full hour.
You wanna dive a little bit deeper into one of these specific topics?
What tickles your fancy?
If you were able to access a wormhole, what would you do with it? Like if you were able to control it, send whatever you want through it, or and back.
I would, to be honest. Oh, that inspires a question more than an answer. Would a wormhole be able to talk to heaven or hell? Like,
I mean, it's kind of interesting because some people think view heaven as like the fourth dimension because like fourth dimension can see stuff always. I don't know if you saw it, but like if we look at a two-dimensional object, we can see everything on the page. But if there was like a line split, the person on one side of the page and the second will be able to see each other. Just think of like fourth dimension, like you can almost see like God being in the fourth dimension, being able to see us. So the wormhole be able to take us to a different dimension.
me and my girl were talking in the car today, and she was like, "Do you think in heaven we're going to be able to go back to this moment in the car?" And I was like, "This car is moving, right? And we're talking, right? You and I both, right? There's energy in this car, right? When we die, we become entropy, whether it's physically or spiritually, regardless of what anybody believes about it, we become it, right? So once we enter this entropy, I feel like in that entropy as living beings, we are be able we if we live right And if we end up on the right side of entropy, I believe entropy also contains like these 2D ass like tick insect like low tier low life type like lives. Hell, I feel like if you live life right and use your free will, then you can use that same free will in entropy to travel into the future and in the back to through time. Like you have the free will to go forward or backwards forever. So I feel like I was like, yeah, I think we will be able to tap into this exact car ride and laugh about it.
Well,
So
it's interesting because like everything is like memorized. Like everything has leaves a mark on it, whether it's like energy or not. Like you can tell like age of certain things and all that. So wouldn't that like memory or something like stay with her forever or at that specific moment in time? I don't know how like kind of explain it or not, but like it could possibly be even recorded forever in like the particles or like the time or I don't know, maybe if there's like a fifth or sixth dimension thing that records everything,
there would
but
be a lot like the book of life, I guess, records everything like that. It talks
yeah.
about it in scripture. Like there's a ledger, you would call it.
It'd be kind of interesting, like in the ledger, like would you like actually relive that exact scene, like you said in like the book, like in the judgment, or is it just gonna be like read to you? I don't know.
When I was
It's
talking,
kind
bro,
of a dumb.
like I'm gonna open up a little bit. When I was saying what I said to my girl, like I kind of had this feeling like 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 something came through the car and went through the car, and that something that came through the car and went through the car and left the car was like, how do I even know you're gonna be there in heaven with me? As if my spirit knew that she did something and didn't end up there. I feel like a shitty, bad, like disgusting human for saying this and putting it on the internet later. But I felt like some duch said that you don't even know she's gonna be in heaven, bro. Like, why are you telling her this?
I mean, that's kind of why it's important to make sure everybody goes there
Yeah.
to literally like fight for that person,
I'm
because
trying to
that
fight for
also
these viewers, bro. I'm trying to fight for like the 13 people that listen to this.
it's like I've had some existential like crises like sometimes like during sleeping at night like what if you had like your best friend and he just goes to hell, like there's nothing you can do about it.
No, you can't. Well, I mean, there is,
There's
but you can't. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I mean like at the time right now, but
You're cutting.
like
Cut, 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 cut,
oh
cut.
sorry,
You're back. You're back. You're back.
okay, perfect. Like Earth ended right now, like your best friend or that person you've been talking to, there's nothing you can do about it. Like you can't go in instead of their place or anything else, and that's just it. It's kind of scary to think about. Like even your own personal self.
Yeah. There's a lot of resources out there though. If anybody needs to reach out and like ask somebody that has like I feel like you also have like I talked to you about this once in the gym. You're into like philosophy, so it's people that aren't into philosophy, they're gonna drill you a lot and they're gonna make you angry, and it's gonna get like there's push, there's speak, there's debate, there's push, and if you're shoving, that's unproductive. You might as well be punching and to get your point across with that. Like there's intellectually proper and improper ways to discuss things. I feel like I'm still learning the proper way, but if you do need like resources, like I can send you to where I was. Like I can show you why I believe young Earth theory above Big Bang theory, and why it's really easy to believe that. Once you live it, you kind of see God speaking to your life and reward you for believing things like that. But
Yeah, and then you just live your everyday life at peace. Like after knowing some of the stuff.
all right,
Like after realizing some of this stuff, like you're not like being like mindlessly like led. Like you're actually open. Like we can talk about this stuff and like our own ideologies and stuff.
all right, 59 minutes, 30 seconds. Ida, do you want to tell them anything
I mean,
other than
just
exactly?
I mean honestly, just keep listening to the podcast. I'm excited for some of the new episodes coming out. Like keep going. Like dive into some more of this stuff. It'd be kind of interesting.
I'm also excited to see where this specific episode goes, because this specific episode covers more than Alex Jones has covered in his last 30 years of career. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Do all the things, but don't smash my mom. Smash the subscribe button. And I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Listen harder. Bye.